And hello, my dears. Welcome to our broadcast. My name is Pasha, and it's Flashback channel. Traditionally, I will ask, do you hear me good or no? I'm just wait when you write plus in our chat, and yes, I'm C pluses. It's a beautiful, good, my dears. And I had planned start my broadcast maybe uh, at 12 o'clock, yes. But I know that you were on a Shields broadcast with operator Starsky, and uh, my main target, it's you should be concentrate on one broadcast, because I know that it's non-comfortable be on a two broadcast and took information from two uh, different sources. Yes, it's a beautiful that they done broadcast. My friend uh, Jeffrey just signaled me about it. Thanks, Jeffrey. Yes, I hope that we start our broadcast not so late, because usually I'm do it more early. I hope it's a good time, and a good time for you. Not for me, it's not beautiful because I'm start more early, but I hope that for you it will be comfortable. And my dears, today, I think biggest part of the news, biggest part of the news will be good. Hello, my friends. And first question, what I'm answering, it's a question from Kellen Dunn. You look rested. Are you back in the Kyiv? Yes, I'm in the Kyiv maybe more than 1 week or a little bit more. And yes, we have rest, but every day we're on a service. But now it's a holiday, and oh, sorry, not holiday, weekend. Yes, and I can streaming for you. And yes, today biggest part of the news will be good news, I think. And that traditionally we start our news from the numbers of good Russian in Ukraine. Every broadcast I'm trying to find uh, picture with the great faces of the Russian super soldiers. And for today, sorry, for yesterday, Russia have 194,000 good Russians in Ukraine. Thanks for the armed forces of Ukraine. Thanks for the all forces of defense in Ukraine. And thanks for National Guard, who make it number biggest and biggest. And if you don't know, maybe you don't know, in Ukraine yesterday was Infantry Day. It's a holiday for the soldiers who work on the ground, for mechanized soldiers, for infantries. Yes, and yesterday was Infantry Day in Ukraine. So it's my day too, because I'm worked in infantry. I'm served in infantry battalion, and now I'm serving in an infantry brigade. And it's my day, and day of my brothers, and your days too, because I hope that Ukrainian infantry, who make numbers of good Russian biggest, make smile on your face. Congratulations to the Ukrainian infantry, and my congratulations to the Britain, uh, because if I don't mistake, yesterday was coronation of the Charles III. It's a very important event, and I'm just a wish long life to the king and a long life to the Britain. Uh, I hope that the new king will be good king, and I hope in a Great Britain always be okay. My congratulations to the Great Britain, and I don't know how you congratulate, for example, your king. Yes, because I've heard when you I wanna know same phrase like a Slava Ukraini. Yes, in Ukraine we say Slava Ukraini. In United States we say in United States, if I don't mistake, you say God bless America. What do you say in United Kingdom? It's I think it will be very important phrase for me in the future. Just write on the chat. Why? What do you say? Ah, God save the king. Yes, it's right. Uh-huh. God save the queen. Thanks. I will remember it. Thanks for your help, my dears. And you can see theme main topic of our broadcast about Prigozhin, and I'm see a lot comments about it. I will not show this video how Mr. Prigozhin crying and send a message to the Putin and to government. Yes, but because I think the biggest part of the streamer, the blogger, show it, I will not show it, but I I think it's a one of the good news. But in my opinion, it's can be a fake news. He just said that Wagner will disengage it from the Bakhmut, will retreat from the Bakhmut. And he said it maybe 2 days ago, yes. And a fresh video from yesterday when he said that they don't leave now, and they wanna assault, they wanna occupy 2.5 kilometers. You know that in a Bakhmut territory we have 2.5 kilometers, and if they occupied it, Bakhmut will be fully occupied, totally occupied, yes. And I think after this message for the government, when Prigozhin crying and said about situation on the Bakhmut direct from Wagner side, I think that high government and special services Russian just call to Mr. Prigozhin, and and after this telephone speaking, he changed his opinion, and now he don't wanna go out from the Bakhmut, and he wanna assault 2.5 kilometers. I don't know it's real or no. Ukrainian intelligence is working, Ukrainian reconnaissance working too, and maybe it's just a fake maneuver, like a variant. We can imagine that Prigozhin said that Wagner will leave, but Wagner will not leave. I don't know. I think just that we just should wait 10 May, because if I don't mistake, he should leave from the Bakhmut at 10 May. And I'm see comments about Chechens who will replace. So all we know how Chechen soldiers in Ukraine, how authority have Chechen soldiers. They not like soldiers, yes, it like TikTok warriors, and they doesn't fight like a Wagners. They doesn't do assault. They work in the rear, and I think it's like a I don't know, unit of the military police who punishment Russian soldiers who try to leave from the front line. I don't know. I think that Chechen soldiers, not Chechen, Kadyrovцы, will be not useful on a Bakhmut direct. And you should know that Kadyrovцы doesn't leave from Ukraine totally. Biggest part of Akhmat units now on a Kreminna direct. It's a two very hot spot in Ukraine, and they located on a Kreminna. I don't know how useful will be if they change direct, if they replaced. I don't know how it will be useful, but Prigozhin was right that before Wagners coming on a front line, Russian regular army were useful, and yes, useless. Sorry, yeah, because Wagner's PMC so effective, and they give a big success for the Russia. For example, when they occupy Solidar, 19% who do it, it's do Wagner's soldiers, not regular army. And the biggest part of success on the Bakhmut direct, it's two Wagners contractors, not Russian regular army. And we should understand that if Wagners leave from this direct at the front line, they lose a big effective, they lose a big strength. And yes, I think that Prigozhin can't do it, but we don't know. He is not general, he is not officer, he just a PMC commander, and if he can do what he want, he do it. But we will hope that they leave from the Bakhmut and always be okay, and we deoccupy it in a close time. But we can only talking about it and thinking about it and wait day when they really leave or not leave. And yes, I must say comments about phosphorus bomb. It wasn't thermite bombs, burned rounds, and yes, it's real. Bakhmut 2 days ago was totally bombed by these types of rounds. Yes, and it's looked, I don't know, it's looked like a whole city in fire, you know. So it's so scary. Yes, and it's real. Military laws, it's not about Russian, it's not about Wagners and not about regular army. We understand that they will do what they wanna. If they wanna punish civilians, they will do it. If they wanna use illegal types of landmines or ammunition, they will do it, because Russians doesn't know about Geneva Conventions, about war law, and it's not about Russia. Yes. And but we should understand, and we know that Russians doesn't have stability situation on no one is direct on a front line. For example, yesterday I'm read that ICV, Institute Study of War, when I'm just start my broadcast couple months ago, I'm on a 100% trust to ICV, but when I'm meet with the people who made articles for ICV, I don't recommend you trust it on a 100% because it's do biggest part of articles it's do journalists, not soldiers, not officers, not generals. It's do journalists, and journalists cannot give real information because they use a part information from one unit, part information from second unit, and they made article for ICV, and ICV paid money for it, and when I'm understand how it work, I not recommend to trust in those articles on 100%. Yeah, biggest part of truth we have on ICV, but not on a 100%. They can make mistake, and they can say something wrong information. For example, the last articles from ICV it was about canceling Bakhmut offensive for Russian, and we can't through in it because now they really lose offensive potential. They lose offensive strength because they had a very big number of Russian losses. They lose a lot of infantry, a lot of MBT, APC, armored vehicle, and they cannot start offensive. And it looks like real. Yes, they cancel offensive because Ukrainian news make a moral suppress on the Russian high com, on the Russian soldiers, and they waiting Ukrainian counteroffensive, and I think the biggest part of military strength will be used on a defense those position what they occupied before. I think that Russia will not do a big offensive operation, but if they done mobilization and mobilizate 1 million people, give one AK 74 to 10 guys, one on a 10 and one on a 20, and use it like a mid, and make a mid grinder on any direct to the front line, I think that they can have success, but it's only if they mobilize 1 million people, not less. And yeah, so, and what about the told? I'm told that they doesn't have not stability situation. They doesn't know where we will start our offensive. And yeah, we heard information that soldier in a Bakhmut start disengage in the start, and don't do very active offensive activities. And good information from the occupied Melitopol. It's one photo from first meetings in Melitopol. And so, home news. Russian commanding, Russian collaborants, army Highcom in Melitopol, they start to destroy his documents. What does it mean? It means that they preparing to leave from those area. It means that they will not fight for this area, and I think they just leave. They just run away from the Melitopol when Ukrainian armed forces start his offensive. But main future of this offensive, it's that Russian doesn't know where we start this offensive. They doesn't know when, doesn't know where, and I think if they start offensive on a once of directs on a front line, Russian will be very surprised. Yeah, because a lot of information are operation now. Ukrainian media do, and not only Ukrainian, but this and Russian moral lover and lover. And I think that if we every day will promise offensive, they just be crazy and they just run away from his position, because uh, you know it's a very difficult when you waiting your death. So I hope these scenarios will be work. And my dears, I should told you that on our channel doesn't work monetization, and if you wanna support us, you can use two services. It's PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee. My face and on a describe of this broadcast. And I see one question in the chat about air alarm, about Syrian, and after drone near Kremlin, drone attack. Yeah, it's a real, because for example, when I waited broadcast, just Air Syrian started 22 o'clock, and for example, I have a special application on my mobile phone with alarm of Air Syrian on, or sorry. For example, yesterday we had a two big attack, and today, really, couple hours ago, Russians started attack again, and yes, they do it more intensive. You can see what's happening at my screen on the phone. But you can trust me that they do it more intensive, yes. And what I wanna tell, I'm preparing the good news for you, and it's news about Ukrainian air defense. Do you hear, my dears, that Ukraine now using Patriot system? Thanks USA that they give it for us, and it's work, and it's a very effective air defense complex. And yes, and a couple days ago, Patriot destroyed Russian missile Kinzhal. You can see it on a picture. Russian propaganda talks that Kinzhal it's a very modern Russian missile, and no one type of air defense cannot destroy it, but Patriot do it, and do it very successful. I don't know what they can make for moving through the air defense, new air defense, because thanks for our partners country, our air defense very strange, and like good news, we can destroy all types of Russian missiles. And some Ukrainian military expert said that Patriot can destroy nuclear bomb if Russia launched it, and I think that it's a very good news for all Ukrainian and for all world. Yes, Patriot, kicking ass, thanks. I don't know how generation of the Patriot working in the Ukraine territory, but it's working, uh, and it's good. I think. And my dears, don't forget that on our broadcast we using function questions, because our chat, thanks for you, my dears, very very. Uh, you can give me a question in a special question functions. You can use it when you touch on a blue line our chat, and in this I don't know question mode I can find your question and I can answer on this. Please don't please on a Zeus function use only questions, don't write something, just a question. And one moment I should check. And today I have my friend Jeffrey give me a couple of questions about how on a front line soldiers, infantry have nutrition and how they cooking. And I think it's a very very interesting question. It's can be interesting for all of you, and I should describe what's my microphone. Always good with my microphone, or no, something wrong, something bad. If I have some troubles with the sound, say me about it, because it's very important, and because I try to do more biggest quality. Aha, my microphone turn up and turn off. Okay. Sorry, it's I'm trying to fix it. Just a 1 minute. 1 minute. Wait. I hope that I'm fix this trouble and always be good. I hope uh, if something happened with my sounds, just right, and I will try to do something. And what about it all? And Jeffrey asked me how soldiers on the front line have nutrition. So at first we should understand that soldiers who go into the position, they took MRE, meal ready to eat, Ukrainian variants, or any types of variants, and they eat MRE. And but if they understand that they will be on a position a long time, because you should understand that infantry on a position have some rest For example, they on a position 5 days, and after 5 days they go to the rear, for example, for sure, or something like this. And when soldier going to the position, to the trench, they took MRE and they took some reserve of food, for example, in canned food. But we have position where soldiers staying so long, and in a most I don't know, in a most fortification, in a most armor and blindage, in a most armor and ditch trench, they made like a field kitchen. Yes, they use a. I should translate it. I should translate it word. They use gas stove and they make food on a trench, yes, or any types, but usually they use a gas stove, and it's for example, they can fry potato or something like this. They can fry meat if they have fresh meat, but usually they use canned food, or maybe I said something wrong. Yeah, I'm saying it right, canned food, and usually they eat it. But for example, position on a front line, position on a front line, not so separated, and position without I don't know, without rear support, without logistics ways, and sometimes some soldiers can go to the rear place, to the command point for took water, for bring water, and bring food, and if for example pair will go to the command point, they can took, for example, big bucket with hot food, yeah, something like borscht and something like this. Yes, soldiers on a position. I mean, our soldiers of our brigade, not hungry. And I will find next questions. A ref from USA. Funny question. Do you think Kadiro is so fat because he got radiation truck from Chernobyl? You know, I'm watched just one video in YouTube, and the Ukrainian journalist talking with one of Chechen's men, and he talked a little bit about Kadyrov, and he said that Kadyrov very sick, and he have big troubles with his health, and you know, I'm see that so long time Kadyrov doesn't was on a media. He can't make video in his Telegram. He can't. We cannot see Kadyrov in a media, and I think that he have a very big trouble with his health. I'm hope that he dies so soon. And yes, one variant that he was poisoned, but I don't know it's true or no. For me, more better it's variants that he have a very big trouble with his health. It's variants more biggest looks like a true, like a real. And yes, but so yesterday Kadyrov said that TikTok brigade ready to the moving on a Bakhmut direct. So maybe it's not good idea, yeah. But see it later. And I will find next your questions. SL, is Wagner really living, or this is a fake to be reinforced Kadyrov? We cannot see on a 100% it's real or no, but we understand that Wagner's really had a trouble with ammunition, really had a trouble with artillery rounds, because Wagner it's not a regular army, and yes, they real had troubles with supply, because regular army generals doesn't want to support private military company. It's a political questions, because for example, I know about one problem in Russia, in Russian regions, when local government doesn't organize funeral for dead Wagner soldiers. Yes, and main reason why he doesn't make funeral for the soldiers, because he is a Wagner, he is not soldiers, and he said it's a not hero, yeah. And Prigozhin personally going to this region and try to fix this trouble. But what does mean? It means that between government they doesn't have respect, and it's one of reason why Wagner have so bad supply from the Russian army. But we should understand that Russian army have successes on the Donbass only thanks for Wagner. And I don't know, maybe it's fake for Ukrainian soldiers, fake for Russian, or maybe it's a message for the people or for president. I don't know. But if Wagner leave from the Bakhmut position, it will be very bad for Russian army in general, I think. And I will ask next question. Charlie's Manson. Pasha, serious question. Crocs or not? Crocs, man. Good question. Crocs, yeah. I have some stories with Crocs. Ukraine TBC Brandon show our blue Crocs. It's like a part of military equipment in Ukraine. Yes, I think that Crocs. Thanks for the question. Thanks, my dear, who said that my English better and better with every broadcast. I'm trying to make it better, try to upgrade it every broadcast, and thanks for you. I have experience for so long speaking. Yes, because not every Ukrainian have opportunities speaking on English more than 10 minutes, and I think My English better, only thanks for you and only thanks for your activities because you give me question if I don't know how answer on this question. I am going to the Google translate it, and I remember its word, and I'm use it in next broadcast, and I'm use it on my real life. Yes, and I think it's only thanks for you. I am upgrade my English. Thanks. And I hope that my pronunciation not sounds like a pronunciation of Russian gangster from Brighton Beach. I hope that no. And the next question, Bradley, Oregon. Do you have a horse racing in Ukraine? It's Kentucky Derby Day today here in USA. I think the Derby Day is very funny, but in Ukraine we have a lot of horse club. For example, in Kiev I know not less than three horse club. In Kharkiv too we have a lot, but I'm no one heard about Derby. Yes, we have a horse tournament. We have a horse rider championship, but about Derby, I don't know. I think that in USA Derby it's like an old tradition. In Ukraine, no, we have a classical horse sport. And I will. Question from the China Caldwell. Have you ever run into a snake when you were in the trenches? Are there any animals you have to worry about besides work during the summer? Uh, so in the trenches, I know one doesn't see a snake, but main general horror in a trench personally for me it was a hedgehog when you at night on a position and you just hear all sounds near you and hedgehog it's really terrible because he moving like a he may when hedgehog moving he makes sounds like a man. I don't know, it's a very terrible. And fox it's too very terrible because I don't know, songs from fox it's like a woman's who are yellow, I don't know, something like this. Yes, but if you ask it about animals, what we worried about animals, yes, it's a cat, it's a dog, but we try, for example, if we find dog on the front line, we try doesn't took it's in a trench. We try send this dog or cat to the rear zone to our guys, and in the rear zone they carried about it. But yeah, we had the cats in a position, dogs in a position. But when we have rotation, for example, for short time, we put this animal and go into the rear zone with him, because um, be on a front line, be on the trenches on the first line. Uh, it's dangerous for animals. Yes, it's not funny. It's not funny. Hedgehog, it's a very very scary when you on a position at night. Really, man, 100%. It's really scary because when you just stay on a post, when you just stay in a position and control all territory, you heard all songs, uh, and when hedgehog moving on the ground, uh, it's horrible. And and the question from the Spencer, what's the closest story you have to death, if you have any? I have a lot stories to the close of death, but I think that first my chance to die, it was in Irpin. It was Irpin. I was APC commander. And talk this. I have said this story. Tell this story to the Brandon on his channel, but I will do it again. And it was Irpin. And I was APC commander before before we go into the mission. I'm just to check my APC and with my crew, and we are understand that this APC not cannot survive a long time. And when we meet with the Russians and Irpin, start fight, yes, and my machine gunner just try to suppress Russian from a heavy machine gun from KPVT. It's caliber 14.5. We just make 3 shots, and we lose our scope, and we see nobody, we see nothing in a scope, and we cannot continue our shooting. And we just were in an APC, inside of APC, and I had not a lot of time for the make decision, because at this moment engine doesn't work, we cannot move in, and moving it was very dangerous, because Russian MBT shoot on our direct. And we just were in APC. We had a short time for discuss what we should do for survive, and then know or what we can do. And under my APC hit cumulative round from RPG. Cumulative, it's not high explosive, it's not shrapnel, it's a round, it's a grenade with a very small stream with a very high temperature. If you know, APC BTR 17 doesn't have a good armor, and if cumulative grenade hit in APC, I think he destroyed it from both sides. Not destroy it, but shoot through the whole APC. But Russian grenadier just a miss. He doesn't hit in my APC. He hit under APC, and when this cumulative grenade exploded in APC, we had temperature, I think, not less than 50 degree by Celsius. Yes, my face was red, and I said to my driver, I said, next round he hit, he doesn't miss in the next round. And we make decisions that we should leave from the APC. We just eject, uh, make catapulta. I'm just jump from fucking APC 17. We evacuate our team, and maybe after 30 seconds when we leave from APC, one of the grenades from RPG hit in our APC, and it was very close to this. But thanks for God, ammunition and grenades doesn't explode, it doesn't detonation in APC, and always good. We just leave from APC and continue our fight like infantry, but it was very close. And I think God give me, or not, maybe not only God, maybe gods or devil, I don't know who do it, but they give me next chance when first grenade doesn't hit in APC. And yes, and we use its chance and leave from fucking APC, and we alive and we survive. And all my guys from crew doesn't wounded, and always okay with these guys, but it was very close. Yes, all those combat was so close to the death. So interesting. If you heard about our project Winged Hussars VG project, I'm download video from this battle from Irpin in Winged Hussars shorts. Who know this channel? Please send link in a chat. And you can see part of video in a short how we fight in Irpin. Somebody know about project Winged Hussars? Just a right plus if yes. Right minus if no, and will talk couple words about this. KMC, you're once, and aka Croat, you're one of my very active subscribers, from 10 subscribers on this channel. So please guys, send link on this channel please in a chat, and I am say couple words. Who doesn't know, during war I was foraging team commanders, and the biggest part of my volunteers, it's a very brave and the good mans. Just use in I can or no. If I can, I do it. Wait. I'm trying to wait and find it. And I'm fine. Beautiful. I'm sending. Okay. You're sending. Thanks. And what about I told? And biggest part of my volunteers, it's very brave men, strong people, and one of these volunteers, it's a Batman. He sometimes come in our broadcast and chatting with you, my dears. It's my very good friend. We fight with him, and we had the idea making training project Winged Hussars, and it will be war block about tactics, about equipment, about survival for civilians, for military, and it will be military stories. Yes, if it's interesting for you in future, we will make content, more content. Now I'm just download couple shorts and one video from our work. And if I'm sorry, if it's interesting to you, just a subscribe. So soon will be more content. Yes, and it's not only my friend project, it's our project. I'm co-owner and I will be like a face of this project too. So yes, and we made a training project. Now my friend Batman fight in a Ukrainian in a Donbass direct, and he cannot making video a lot. But so soon when we meet with him, we made it. We had a lot of ideas, and it will be interesting ideas. Now I will be work like I will use community message, and when video is will be ready, when video is will be done, we download it. I hope it will be very interesting. You can support us if you share links. I promise so soon content will be on this channel. Now, but now it's channel little bit empty. And so yes. What about I told? I'm done my story with a close. Sorry, I forgot. Yes, and on this channel we had a short. How we fight an European. It was video near Ukrainian MBT. So yes, and I will find a new questions, my dear. And don't forget support our channel. You can support our channel by two services. It's PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee. You can see links on these services in a describe of our broadcast under my face on your screen, and I will pin it message, and it will blue message with the links on platform for support. So, and I'm start looking for new questions, not new, next questions, my dear. And I see question from Mousy Pasha. Can you tell us about your Ukrainian town, New York? So yes, we had not town, it's a village. In a Donbass region. Before President Poroshenko renamed it village, its village named Novgorodske, Novgorod in Russian city, and when we occupied some territory in 2014, we renamed Novgorodske in New York, and our previous president started a project for renovation of New York village. Before it's Novgorodska, and now it's a Ukrainian typical village, but with a good infrastructure, with a good roads and something like this. It looks like a small town, small city, yeah, it's just a Ukrainian city, but named for city of United States, very successful city, New York. so long time it was so close to the frontline city, if I don't mistake. Now New York under occupation, but I cannot can't say it on a 100%. If I don't mistake, now under occupation. But yes, it's just a Ukrainian city, and this name, New York, have uh, like thanks for decommunization. Yes, but it's just a typical village. See that you discussed about my gigolo work. Because Brandon from Ukraine TBC recommended me working like a gigolo. If you have some work for me, just a call. But you should understand that I can't work in in other country, only in Ukraine. But I will think about this work. And Ronald Reagan, Pasha, one question if you can. From the high micro thermals that Braden is getting, which one did the military users consider the best? So about high micro thermals, I cannot answer about how use it Brandon's friends, but in my experience, I'm used high micro thermal, and it was civilians type of thermal scope, and I think that it's a very useful devices because a good battery, good distance for the identification thermal, for the identification temperature, and yes, I think it's useful, and it's good. It's better than nothing. It's worse than military thermal, like Archer or something like this. But for this budget, it's a very good devices. High micro, yes, I think that yes, it's a good, and it will be useful. You should understand that on a position, every device and for work at night, it's a very useful. So yes. And I will looking for a question from the last one. Do you think the Russia Federation will split apart, fragment after you beat them? So it's very interesting questions, and we had a couple theory how will be Russian future if Ukraine took victory, if Russia will be defeated, and fragmentary of Russian region. It's a once of this variant, but we should understand that it's a very dangerous type of Russian final, because uh, Russian nuclear weapon and Russian armament, heavy armament, missile, located in all region of the Russia. And for example, if Siberian Republic will have opportunity to use nuclear weapon or missile or something like this, it can make a trouble uh, for the international community. It can be a reason for the war between Russian region, for example, and it's a very dangerous. Uh, because why not? Why not if Russian small region will be fight against other Russian small region? and this small region will be without control from the civilized country. For example, if part of Russian region go under Finlandia control, other part under United States, other under Chinese control, and only couple regions will be independent, it's okay. But if every regions will be independent, and it will be so dangerous, not only for Russian, it will be so dangerous for all world. Colin Barrett: in Soviet time, from the West's view, the scariest part of Soviet military was Ukraine. It's produced the best soldier and made the best and most advanced weapons. Russia has forgotten this. So you're right on a 100%. And when Ukraine left from the Soviet Union, when Soviet Union was destroyed in 1991, after 10 years, no, sorry, I'm losing my mind. After when Ukraine stay independence, we had the biggest part of nuclear weapon, biggest part of the tactical weapon, of the aviation, jets, helicopters, and something like this. And Russia start an armed company. They give money for our previous government, and I think in Ukraine was the biggest part of Russian armament. And if we start fight against Russia 30 years ago, we are win, because we had the biggest part of the modern weapon, and Ukrainian soldiers between all Soviet country was best soldier, and now we had the same status. And yes, but Russia start scared independence Ukraine, and they start company for unarmed of Ukraine, and they do it successfully. Sorry, but they do it successfully. Uh, Deep El Pal, hello. When you say emeria, the American English word, do you get American emeria? They are tasty. When I'm saying emeria, I'm not mean only American emeria, American Army emeria. Uh, I'm when I say emeria, it's like bad words. I mean dry ration, Ukrainian dry ration, American dry ration, the Canadian, Germany. We had a lot of types of dry ration, and it's tasty, always tasty. But I think best in Ukraine, because in our dry ration we have mm, borscht, we have soup, we have a lot of meat, and it's a very tasty. If you find opportunity to try uh, Ukrainian ration pack, I think you will be happy. A lot of messages from the Google that you subscribing on our channel. Thanks, my dear. I promise you that I will start activities on this channel. So yeah, and yet Nida adresa. They have so much meat. Yes, in the Ukrainian ration we have a lot. And my dears, if you write Magyar, I think that you mean Magyar. You, if you use G, it's a little bit wrong. It's will be right variants. If you say about drone operator who destroyed Russian vehicle by drones. and I'm start uh, I'm start looking for the next question. Lorraine Checksfield. Pasha, does Ukraine have any amphibious tanks that can cross Dnipro River? So we should understand that when Soviet Union made military vehicle AFV, APC, MBT, they include opportunity to swimming. And the biggest part of Soviet vehicles can be prepared to the movement through the river, and they can moving across the river. I can imagine how they do it, for example, in a Dnipro, because move speed when tank or AFV, BMP or something like this will move through the water, speed will be no more than 3 kilometers per hour. And it's unreal. Mitch Ashdown, you are right on 100%. That Dnipro it's a long way across for amphibious vehicle. I think it's unreal. We should use special devices for it or pontoons, but pontoons it's too difficult for Dnipers. So I think best variants it will be if we start our offensive on Kherson, not from other side of Dnipro, but if we will go from the Zaporizhia, from the Melitopol or something like this by ground. I think it will be better. And now I'm looking for the next question. I wanna say that today today we have a biggest part of the question about war and about service. It's yeah, very interesting because usually you ask it something about Ukraine, about culture, something like this. Yeah, it's a good that for you interest in any themes and any topics. So yes, in the aka Croat 74, is it true Ukrainians can only travel 2 soldiers per car because their balls are too big and needed the extra room? Yeah, you are right. It's a true 100%. I'm looking for your question. Nida Adressa. What piece of personal armor do you want most? Are your helmets bulletproof, Kevlar, vests? I should download this question. For example, me personally use old classical steel plates, 6 class of defense, and I'm using Kevlar helmets. But sometimes I'm dreaming about ceramic plates with a too good class, because my body armor without magazine, without pouches and other shit, I have mass 12 kilograms, because one plate have mass 6 kilograms. Sometimes I'm dreaming about ceramics plates, but it's so expensive. But biggest part of soldier use different types of body armor. and different types of helmet. But I can say that 80% of helmets it's Kevlar helmets, maybe 19. We doesn't use steel helmets. Steel helmets it's only for Russian. Yeah, but in my small dream I will use uh, polymers or ceramic plates, but it's not so cheap. And I will looking for next question. Uh, mhm. I'm seeing a lot of interest question in a general chat. It's too good. It's good that you mark your question by orange color. When you market our channel in a chat, I will see it because it will be under orange mark and I can see your question and I can answer the question. Misty, what's the first thing you're going to do after war? Oh, I have a lot idea, you know. At first, it's retire from the army because I wanna be a free man. At first, it's a leave from the army, 100%. But I will do it only when we finish war, when war is done. So yes, it's maybe first. After it, I go to make renovation in my mother house, and after it, maybe I will go to the traveling. Maybe only after it. I have a lot of busy, not done busy for yet for this time in Ukraine, and at first I should leave from the army. I'm like army, but I'm served 8 years. In this years it will be 9 years, and I wanna see world. I wanna see life, not only army. Yes, it will be first things. Thanks, Johnny Jones. It's pronounced ceramics. Thanks. Thanks that you are correct my bad pronunciation because I'm can little bit don't know what I told. uh, Kripke, when you will get your own channel, Pasha the Jiggle after war. If I made this channel, it will be not on a YouTube. I think it will be on OnlyFans or on a Pornhub. Yes, thanks for the question, Kripke. And then Hill, how many language do you speak? You speak English well. Thanks. And Hill, I'm little bit speak English. I'm speak Ukrainian. I'm speak Russian, and I can understand Germany, but I can't speak Germany so good. Yeah, I can reading by Germany language, but I can't speak by Germany language. But in the future, I wanna study French language and maybe Arabic. Arabic very interesting for me because for the last time Arabic culture so interesting for me. Wow. 2 weeks ago I visit Turkish restaurant and I said, "Wow, I'm like Arabic culture." Kripke, du verstehen mich also in Deutsch? Ja, ich verstehe, but ich keine spricht. Sorry. uh, Worst will. I know at first I'm say come to United States from Deep Pal and Ken Patterson. After war, if you visit Colorado, USA, all the good food, drink, and fly fishing is on me. Thanks for invite. I think maybe I'm come to United States, but I don't know when. But I will remember about your invite. Don't worry. And Borst will, do you get to choose your military clothes or do they just give you whatever? That's it's a nice jacket. Yes, we can change. For example, I'm like this jacket because I'm fight in this jacket from first day of war started. It's a multicam jacket, fleece jacket from MTAC, Ukrainian firm, and I love it. It's my lucky jacket. I have a lot of uniform. Thanks for AKA Crocs. I have a lot of uniform and good uniform, but on a broadcast I'm usually wear this jacket. I don't know why. I'm really like it, and because I think, in my opinion, National Guard uniform doesn't comfort for me. Sometimes we took hijak uniform, high quality uniform, but when hijak, but at first hijak were only for task force brigade and for special forces, and when only special forces use it, hijak was a high quality uniform, but now when biggest part of National Guard units use hijak, quality of this uniform so bad, and I'm wear multicam. No, my German is so bad uh, because I'm just a study German language, Deutsche Sprache in my academy, and I give priority for the English language because in Ukraine English more popular. Yeah, I'm know the German language too very interesting and good and not so difficult. Uh, but I'm give priority to English language. Maybe a little bit later I'm start to repeat my German, but not yet. I'm see I'm see discuss that you discussed why English it's a Germanic language. Uh, I can be I can make mistake, but when I'm study English and I'm study general philology, we discussed about families of the languages in Europe. And if I don't mistake, at first we had two families, French Franks families or French and Germanic families. And if I don't mistake, English it's a part of Germanic family of languages. If I don't mistake, but I can mistake. If I mistake, you should correct me. Yeah, if I correct, it's beautiful. Uh, Kripke, German is way more difficult than English. I can teach you. Thanks for this invite, for this proposition. You know, I think main future of German languages it's German pedantism because Germans have structures of sentences and they have speech only by the structures. I'm a Ukrainian nature speaker, and we doesn't have a structure. We can say what we wanna say, but Germans they have structures, and they not so often change it. And for me, it's very difficult because I thinking on the Ukrainian. And for example, when I talking on English language do have a lot of structures, and when you use some, I forgot this word, you should talking only by structures, but I'm thinking on Ukrainian and I'm talking on English like Ukrainian. I cannot use structure. So yes, and Germany it's more difficult for me because I can't think in the German language, and I can think in by Germanic structures. But it's now. If I start to repeat, T-Man, can you please answer my early question, please? Can you send your question again, man? I can answer, but I maybe lose it. Or where it was in a general chat or in a questions. T-Man, repeat your question. Timena, I'm fine your question. One moment. How did Ukrainian armed forces handle those bombs of fire that looked like fires falling everywhere from the skies over Bakhmut? So I'm personally too was under burning rounds, and I know how terrible situation when Russian use fucking flame against you, and first good idea it's fine to cover. I'm just check report from the Bakhmut, and guys write it always good. And this attack was not so effective what they want from this attack, but it's very dangerous. We should understand it, but the soldiers try to avoid it, man. I don't know how they do it. I think that really we had wounded, we had some losers after this attack, but always good. They doesn't leave and doesn't disengage. Deep well, Paul. Do you have every bug problems at the front, like mosquitoes? Yeah, we had. When we do with my guys reconnaissance task, it was maybe middle of May, and we had a task to do reconnaissance near river. You should imagine forest, and near forest we had river. Temperature was so warm, and before we go into the task, I took my favorite camo net. You know, we sometimes use camo net for hiding our face, for hiding our body, and I took my camo net and I cover my face, and we just moving through the forest near river, and 1 million of mosquito try how taste my face, and my guys who was in me on a mission when we leave from the forest have really red faces because mosquitoes very aggressive against us. Maybe it was a separatist or Russian mosquitoes. They hate us and we hate mosquitoes. Yes, it's a trouble. It's a big trouble on our front line. And when you on a reconnaissance, you cannot use this gas or spray against mosquito because it's have a very strong smell. It's dangerous for us because if we will move in so close to the enemy's position, they can understand that it's a not nature smell. Yeah, it's dangerous for use it. Burst will how do you poop on the front line? Beautiful questions. I don't know how I poop. I don't know. I was on a one object. It doesn't. I have not poo during 5 days. If we have opportunity, yeah, we just go to special covered place. Types of poo depends only from objects. If you in a city, it's one types. If you on a trench, it's other types. It depends only from situation. I can't describe how we do it. I will describe it on my OnlyFans later. Kim C, how do you feedback our support to the soldiers? Do you translate some comments, especially when you introduce us to someone? Our soldier know about your support, we talking about it, and when we have some when we, for example, buy something for our soldiers, we say that it's our foreign friends support us. And for example, Sammy V, it's our dear subscribers from New Zealand. She's teacher and she sent for me kids drowning, yes, and we print this kids drowning and share for our soldiers. Yes, so our soldiers know that you support us. And don't forget, if you wanna support us, you can use two services. At first, it's PayPal and buy me a coffee. Links on these services you can see on a pinned blue message in your chat under my face and in describe of this broadcast. So. All your donation we use only in interest in our battalions. We paid for diesel, we paid for starlings, what you buy for our soldiers, and your support very important for us. And Safedes, can you interview Kazakh Siramaha? I'm heard his songs, but I am not interviewed Kazakh Siramaha. It's who doesn't know who is Kazakh Siramaha? It's a Ukrainian folk singer. It's a Ukrainian folk singer. He wear it like a Cossacks, have hair like a Cossacks, and he have a very good songs. So funny songs and so romantic songs, but in the use I don't know how named his instrument. It's harmonic, if I don't mistake. He is singing and playing on fifth harmonic. Very good singer. Recommend you. So, my dears, and I'm answer on our last couple your questions, and we'll go to sleep, cause in Ukraine now 3 o'clock. It's so late. Yeah, tomorrow Sunday I will be asleep a lot. Ella, from you say, do you wake up early or stay up late for the live streams? I am stay up late for the live streams. For example, usually usually when I doesn't have a broadcast, I'm go to sleep at 22 o'clock, at 10 o'clock. But when I have a broadcast, I'm trying to start broadcast at 23 o'clock in Ukraine, but today I cannot do it because she'll have broadcast with a Starsky. And usually, yeah, I'm staying long. I doesn't wake up for the broadcast because for me will be comfortable making broadcast for you when in Ukraine very deep night. So we had a really big time difference because we had the people from Europe, from Asia, from United States, from Canada, from Australia, and it's so difficult to find the best time. Yes, and I'm streaming typically from 23 o'clock. Yeah, but you can just see chat, and for example, David L now in from State Connecticut, 1947, but uh, I'm see. And you can just see how difference between Ukraine, between United States, and between your country. So yes. And my dears, thanks for the activity and our broadcast. Thanks that you are coming. I hope that the broadcast was good. I hope that I'm answering all your question, but not on all, but on the biggest part. So thanks for your attention, and see you later on next broadcast. I think it will be so soon. Don't forget support Ukraine. Don't forget support our channel. You can support our channel by your links on under my face. It's a PayPal and buy me a coffee service, and stand with Ukraine. Slava Ukraini. Good night and good morning for everybody. See you later.